So I am getting so many DMs and comments about scavenging points. What's going to happen to the scavenging points? What's going to be removed? What's going to be nerfed? What are they going to do with the current material cap? And what should you do before the DLC? Well, to catch you up to speed, here's a little recap. Scavenging points update. Alert! Spend your scavenging points before the upcoming season starts. Once that update goes live, points will be account bound and cannot be used more than once total. New scavenging points will be gifted to your account based on your shade level and will overwrite what you have done before. Make sure you level up as much as you can and spend all of your points before May 27th. Now, the devs actually went a little bit further than this. Let me explain. Here's a great question, and it says, if a player has stacked and exceeded the cap of materials, will they be removed, reduced to the cap of 9999, as points are now account-wide? And the devs said, hey, no, nothing will happen to those materials. So, because of this, we are starting to see more and more screenshots like this, where people are stacking in excess all of their materials they can through those scavenging points. So in today's video, we're going to go over how to stack them, what I would do if I were you stacking them, and if you are done stacking and you are maxed on materials and expertise upgrades, I'm going to show you how to use your scavenging points in the, I guess, the smartest way before this update goes live, because remember, you get all those scavenging points back. So let's get into it. What's going on, YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video, so sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below, but this might be one of the most important videos you watch before this DLC. Take full advantage. I'm going to show you all the little tips and tricks. The devs have given you the green light twice. They have said gain all the levels and materials you can now, and they have said that no, they will not be replaced or removed. So they have officially given the green light to the community. Make as many mule characters as you can, stack up on these materials, do whatever you can now before they change it forever, right? So let's talk about what is actually changing, okay? So a lot of people are stacking up on their materials. So you can see right here, I mean, I'm not stacking too high, and I'll explain why here in a second, but you can see some of these numbers are over the cap. Like I have 1100 True Suns when there's only 999. I have nearly 1700 LMG when the cap is only 999. So on and so forth. I mean, you can see my protective fabric here is about double the current material cap. And that is because of the stacking of materials. I just showed you somebody showed a screenshot of them having hundreds of thousands of materials each, and that they were trying to go for 1 million before the DLC. Now, there are certain things to focus on and certain things not to focus on before this DLC. So let me try to catch you up and get you on the right track. What should you stack? What should you spec into? What you actually should be doing before this DLC, because it's all connected with the seasonal extension event as well. So first off, how are people stacking these materials? Well, what they're doing is they are making new characters, they are filling up their materials, and then they're coming over to Anaya and they are buying the shared materials option. So if you come over here to Anaya, not only does she give you the shared blueprints, but then she also gives you the shared materials right here at Anaya. Now, I'm already on my main character, and it's because I want to show you what you should be focusing on before you just, stack materials to your heart's content. So you should actually be focusing on expertise. The entire reason that we do material stacking and things like that is for expertise, because expertise is very, very expensive. So, just for example, I'm running the sacrifice chess piece right now, okay? And you can see it has some pretty high requirements, more specifically, the exotic components. But, regardless, the cost of expertise upgrading is very high. And this is per item. So, and not only that, this level is 16 out of 28. So if I were to actually try to go to something that's already maxed out, let's see here. Let's go to the Pestilence. So if I come over here to the Pestilence, it's already maxed right now, okay? You can see the requirements here are 9 exotics per level, and that's per item. So what people do is they focus on all the other materials to get all those other items fully maxed out and, nice and optimized, because then they have to hyper focus on exotic components, because the exotic components are the only material that people are really, really trying to farm for these expertise upgrades. So what you can do in the meanwhile, and what I do for all my builds, you can see that my builds typically stop around expertise 12. Now the reason for that is expertise 12 is where the exotic components start. So what I do with my materials, and what I highly recommend you do before just stacking materials, is actually expertise upgrading all of your items to 12. Because at 12, you can see under the requirements, that's where it starts, the exotic components. So you can stack your materials and use them and make all your builds expertise 12, all your weapons expertise 12, all your skills expertise 12. And that takes just normal materials, no exotics. So you can stack your materials and stack them and stack them and stack them, and then you can make everything on your entire account expertise 12 just as a starting point. And that would mean that whether you join someone in PvE, in the Dark Zone, what have you, you're already 12% higher on your entire build, opposed to a new or returning person who does not have all these expertise upgrades. Highly recommend you do that, because there's no sense of building up all those materials if you're never going to use them. And the easiest way to use them in the smartest fashion is expertise upgrading, because then you can focus in on your skills. I mean, all my skills are 28 now because of, this new farming thing. So everything is 28 now. The reason for that, and my weapons too, I made sure my exotics were 28. Make sure you get all of these expertise upgraded before this DLC, and then stack your materials. Not only that, but you want to stack your optimization materials as well. That way, whenever you get new gear, new exotics, new weapons, you can max them out as soon as you get them. And then expertise upgrade them to 12 without really, having any sort of fuss. Because after that expertise level 12, you have to start using exotics, and then it starts to get a little hairy. So that's what I would do before just stacking materials like crazy. I would make new characters and use all of those materials to get your expertise upgrades up, because that was the whole reason for making mule characters, was to get more materials to do that. Okay? So that's the first part of this. The next part is, what if you're already maxed out? Okay? What do I do now, Kami? I've already got everything level 12 or 28. What do I do now? I have so many scavenging points. Well, then what I would do is come over to this crafting station, right? And at the very bottom, there's optimization crafting station. Like I was just saying, you want all of these maxed. And if you can't just max them out by dismantling gear and weapons, you actually have to come over here to the crafting station and craft all of these different materials, because each of these items require a different faction, a different gear or weapon material, and of course your activity materials, whether they be field recon or shade calibration. But you can craft all of those yourself and max them out. Not only that, but you can actually stack these as well. So if you make a new character and you use all your materials to max out all of these optimization materials, you can then go over to Anaya and share your materials and stack those as well. And that will give you the opportunity to not only be able to recalibrate and optimize any gear that you want, but then you can also expertise upgrade it to 12 and not use any exotics. So, the next part of this. So, you know about expertise upgrading, you know about what to use your scavenging points on, you know about the optimization materials. Okay? So, next, let's talk about this current seasonal event and how this comes into play. So, during this seasonal extension event, you can get caches. Now, you can get these caches sent to your stash, and you can actually use them on different characters. For example, here, my caches are at 20 of 20. During this seasonal pass event, you can claim these caches, and they'll go straight to your mailbox. So you see right there, all of those caches just went to my mailbox. All right? So I'm about to show you how to do this. So you send all of those to your mailbox, and you make a new character. You do not get the watch. You do not spend any scavenging points. You do not really do anything. You have a new character right here. So level 40, no watch, no nothing. Now, what you can do is you can open up all of those caches on your new character before using any of your scavenging points. For example, you can see right here, it says I have items in my mailbox.
Hey, Agent.
And
Got an upgrade to your tech.
if I go to my stash, I can open up all these caches. Boom shakalaka. Okay? Now, the reason for this is you want to max out on your materials or get really close to maxing out on all those materials before you share your materials over to your main character. So, for example, you can open this up, you can get exotic components, you can go to the crafting materials, get all of these materials. You can go down to the, the optimization right here, get all of your optimization materials and your shade calibration and get more shade calibration materials. Now, why do this? Well, this saves your scavenging points. So you could sit here for the next, how many weeks do we have left? Like 2 weeks, another week and a half? So we have, we have 10 days. So for the next 10 days, you can make a new character, not even get the watch yet. Max out their materials, right? So I'm not even going to max out on these materials. I'll get pretty close. I mean, you can see I have quite a number of materials on this character, and I haven't even used the watch yet. So I'm going to show you step by step how this works. So what you would do is you would have a new character just like so. You'd reach level 40, and before you get the watch, you just keep them at the base of ops. Go to your other characters, farm your seasonal XP, get your caches, what have you. Send those caches to the stash. You can then open them up on this brand new character, and you can have all those materials because on your main character, remember, you've been stacking materials. So if you're opening up these caches, you're going to lose all of those materials. They're all going to go nowhere because your main character is already maxed out. But this character isn't. So then you can farm your seasonal levels, you can get all of your caches, and you will never lose any of your materials because you can put them on this character and then have this character open them up. Now what that does is it gives you the opportunity to farm all of these you see all of these optimization materials. Now obviously I didn't deconstruct all of those weapons and gear. This is all just from those caches that I've told you about, okay? So that's how you would do this part to avoid using any scavenging points. Now, why does that matter? Well, check this out, okay? So you get your watch.
Root directory compromised.
Okay.
Subroutine unlocked and synchronized.
Now you can see
Full subroutines.
we now have our watch. I just got it just now. Now with that, because I am shade level 13,000 plus, my new watch gives me 12,200 scavenging points. Okay? Now you can already see I'm pretty close to already being max on a lot of these materials. Pretty simple, right? And in fact, it would only take me a few seconds, you see, just to max these out. It really wouldn't be anything crazy. Now, the reason why I was saying open up those caches and avoid all of these caps without using scavenging points is because you actually want to use your scavenging points for your credits, because this is where it's going to get real. So I don't need any shade calibration and field recon, really. So I have max cap on all my materials, okay? What you do is you combine those with your main account by coming over here to Anaya, and this is how people stack their materials. So you come to Anaya, and you see the account shared materials. Now what that will do is that will stack all of these materials with my main account. So once I do that, boom, I go back to my materials, and now you can see they are all stacked over cap. I mean, well over cap now, okay? That's how people are stacking them. Now, what you should be doing with your excess scavenging points, because remember the developer said, hey, use all your scavenging points before May 27th. So what I would recommend you do, and what I really think you should do, is make sure you go to your stash, make sure all these weapons, everything are expertise upgraded, at least to 12. That way you have good potential in them. I mean, you can see my Pyromaniac, my Lexington, my Savage Wolverine, my Test Subject. These are all just bare minimums at 12. And the reason for that is because I had so much scavenging points, right? So many extra materials that I need to spend, but I'm at max cap. So that's how you do it. You do all your expertise upgrades, you stack all your materials like I'm showing you, and now I have 11,600 remaining. Then I can just spend them all into credits, just like that. Because I don't need my scavenging points. And I know that the second the DLC comes out, I'm going to have 0 scavenging points on this character. So instead of losing, tens of thousands of scavenging points, you could just use them on top of your material stacking as credits. Because once the DLC comes out, you will then be a bajillion millionaire. I mean, here, let me show you my third character, and I'll explain what it kind of looks like. Because I started to do it on this character just to show you the impact it will give you whenever the DLC comes out. So the DLC comes out, right? And here's my third character. I'm at just under 50 million credits, okay? I'm just under 50 million credits. That's on top of having all of these materials over cap and stacking even more materials here. So now each of my characters will have, I don't know, let's see, how many scavenging points? I still have 5,000 scavenging points to spend on this character. And they increase the amount of E-credits you get every time you use these scavenging points. So just like this, right? I went from 5,000 scavenging. Let's go down to 4,500. Let me just show you the impact it has. And this is why you want to keep your scavenging points and then just use them under E-credits, because everything else is over cap, right? And look, now I'm at 55 million credits. 55 million. So even if a miracle happens and I have to use all these materials, right? I will then have over 55 million credits on this character, just this one character, right? And then I can buy anything. I can buy all of these items. I can buy all of these mods. I can buy all those gear items. I can come over here to the clan vendor and buy all of the gear set items and deconstruct them into materials. So now I'm technically, I don't think I'm ever going to run out of materials ever again, because then I can just come over here, buy these gear set items and deconstruct these as well. So on top of having max stacks on all of my materials, optimization materials, everything, I am now stacking my E-credits on top of that. That way, when the DLC comes out, I will make sure that all of my scavenging points the night before will be at 0, and then you get that big sum of scavenging points again. So what was that? Let me show you on my newest character one more time, because this is what's going to happen during the DLC. So they said during the DLC, day 1, everyone will be gifted scavenging points. It will be based off of your shade level. So for example, here's my character. What was I? I was 13,000. And I used a few of these scavenging points, but you can see I was getting over 12,000 scavenging points beforehand. So then that means during the DLC, day 1, my main character, my account, will have 12,000 scavenging points when I wake up. So that's why you want to use all your time, stack all your materials, then the night before the DLC, use all your scavenging points into E-credits, and then that way when you wake up, your account has all these extra credits, all these extra scavenging points, and all your materials are already stacked. And all your expertise is already at least level 12. I mean, come on. This is the time to do this. And the developers have said, do it now and make sure you take advantage of it before the DLC in Year 7 on May 27th. So, that is how you stack materials. That is how you should focus your expertise. Do everything at least to level 12. Hyper focus on your exotics, your weapons, and your skills. And then go into your gear items. After that, you can stack your materials. When you're done stacking your materials and you have extra scavenging points, just put them into E-credits, and then you can use them later for whatever gear, weapons, and mods you want to buy. But that's it. Pretty simple, right? Now, I am Kamikazevondoom. If you found this helpful or informative in any way, shape, or form, hit that thumbs up. Support the channel by subscribing, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. But that's it from me. Have a great day. Take full advantage of this while you can. You only have 10 days. All right? I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.